welcome to Storytime. I am Flyleaf the Book Fairy, your friendly neighborhood storybook fairy, and today we will be reading a book called Trupp by Janell Cannon. Now, if you've ever read the book Stellaluna, this is the same author. It is about a fuzzhead named Trupp. What's a fuzzhead? I wasn't sure either. So through extensive research, I learned that fuzzheads are kind of like cats. They're all white with bright blue eyes, and they walk on their hind feet just like this one in the picture, and they're about child size. They're very, very shy. So if you've never seen or heard of them, that's okay. That's how most of them want it. Shall we get started? Trupp, a Fuzzhead Tale. It all started when Trupp began to wonder how big the world was. Gazing out over the red cliffs of his home, Trupp tried and tried to imagine what might be beyond. His head hurt from thinking so hard. Finally, he decided to see for himself. Trupp marched into the family cave where he found Eep, Ert, Row, Trow, and Now. Little Yow slipped in just in time to hear Trupp announce, "I want to go past the red cliffs." The old ones looked at one another. Then Trow told Trupp, "You have learned to survive on your own, but you know little about humans. Most people who see us fear us." Ert explained, "If you wear clothes, however, they will not see who you are. They won't even notice you. Their pets may recognize you anyway," warned Mao. "You must be very careful." Little Yow waved as the old ones watched Trupp eagerly set off on a trail that led away from the family cave. He scrambled up the red rock cliffs and teetered along the narrow canyon ledge. His strong claws kept him from falling. When the land became flatter and greener, Trupp found cool, grassy places to rest at night. He was enchanted by cricket songs in the moonlight. I love falling asleep listening to crickets. One day, Trupp came upon a path that was unnaturally straight. It led past people dwellings far in the distance. Can you tell what sort of road this is? That's right, it's train tracks. Uh-oh, Trupp said. Time to find some clothes. He started down the path in search of a disguise. Soon, Trupp found something very strange standing near tall rows of corn. A large blackbird was perched by its head. "Don't be scared," called the bird. "This old scarecrow doesn't scare me, 'cause I'm a raven. Ever hear of a scare raven?" He laughed. "No," Trupp answered, "but I must find some clothes to wear so people won't be afraid of me." "Well, then use these," the bird replied, pointing his wing at the scarecrow. With the raven's help, Trupp struggled into the pants and shirt. He covered his fuzzy white head with the hat. The bird flew away and returned carrying a towel. He wrapped it around the scarecrow and said, "Don't want him to catch a chill." He lit on Trupp's shoulder. "And by the way, I come with the clothes. Call me Croc." "How do you do, Croc? I'm pleased to have you as a companion," Trupp replied as he headed for the unnaturally straight path. Large boxes on wheels now stood on the path. The raven fluttered aboard one that had an open door. "All aboard!" said Croc. "This train will take us fast and far." As Trupp stretched to climb up, the pants ripped. A cool breeze tickled his tail. Slowly, the big boxcar began to move with a sound like thunder. As the train picked up speed, the green land went by in a blur. After a long time, The train came to a halt with great screeching and crashing. They were in a gray, quiet place. When Trupp leaped to the ground, he howled in pain. A clear, sharp stone had stuck in his foot. Can you guess what it was? Broken glass, mumbled Croc. You have to watch out for that stuff here. Ow, ow, wow, 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 Trupp cried as he picked the sliver out with his claws. In no time, Trupp and Croc found busy streets crowded with people. The humans rushed past, their shoes clopping on the concrete. Trupp was amazed that they all thought he was one of them. They don't even notice me, cackled Croc. Thirsty and covered with dust, Trupp and Croc were delighted to find a pool of water. They drank and took a bath. Can't you read the sign? Shouted an angry voice. No swimming in the fountain. But it would be so much fun to swim in a fountain, don't you think? A man in stiff blue clothes and shiny black shoes stood glaring at Trupp. Kids these days don't even know how to read. I'll just have to notify the authorities, the man growled as he stomped away. He must be hot too, said Trupp. Not far from the fountain, a woman in a red hat and a tiny dog with a red bow on its head sat on a bench. The woman was throwing bread on the grass. What a generous person, Trupp said to Croc as they hungrily snapped up a few pieces. But the woman yelled, Hey, kid, get out of here! You shouldn't be eating food off the ground, and tell your mama to fix your pants. The little dog snarled. He sees me, gasped Trupp. We'd better run. Trupp and Croc fled back into the streets. But a big woman blocked their path. Well, 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 she said. I see you're kind in town every once in a while. You're one of those cat things. Trupp froze. This person saw who he really was. Looking around for an escape, Trupp noticed the ground glittered with broken glass. The people dwellings were splashed everywhere with brilliant colors. Dark shadows stretched between the tall buildings. Trupp couldn't decide whether to stay or run away. My name is Bernice, said the woman. If you go running off, your feet will get even more cut up than they already are. Let me see your paw. Bernice seemed to know Trupp's foot hurt, just as she had known who he was. She hummed softly as she cleaned the cut on his paw. Then she covered it with a small bandage from a box she had pulled from a cart piled high with her belongings. Thank you, Bernice, said Trupp. I'm Trupp. I'm Croc, said the raven. What are you doing here? Bernice asked. This can be an extremely dangerous place after dark. Lifting Trupp up into her cart, Bernice said to Croc, Come on, bird. It's time we got out of here. I'm going to take you to Uptown where you'll be safer. They rolled along the narrow, littered streets. Almost there, Bernice assured them. I know several good places to eat and sleep. Suddenly, a man jumped at them from the shadows. It's Mad Mo, Bernice hissed. He's terribly unpredictable. With a toothless smile and amazing strength, Mad Mo charged the cart and roared, Going uptown, eh? Well, I'll uptown you! Trupp, Croc, and everything Bernice owned went flying out onto the ground. Terrified but not hurt, Trupp knew just what to do. He pulled off his disguise and hopped in front of the man. Hey, you're a cat or something like that, Mad Mo stammered. Trembling, Trupp said, Please leave us alone, or I may need to use my claws. The man's toothless mouth gaped. He looked at Bernice and gasped, You hear this thing talking? Bernice shrugged. Don't hear a word. The man clapped his hand over his ears and ran away, ducking as Croc swooped about his head. Trupp dressed and everyone put the cart back in order. Soon they arrived uptown and sat down outside the back door of a restaurant.
I love Italian food, Bernice said, and the people who run this place like to share.
Passing a tray of garlic bread, Bernice pointed and said,
"That's spaghetti on the side."
They all ate heartily.
And with style.
Bellies full, they went to a park with green grass and lots of trees.
My favorite spot,
Bernice murmured as they lay drifting to sleep beneath an old soft blanket. Then she chuckled.
Funny, isn't it? I wear all this bright stuff to keep from feeling invisible. When people stare at me, it helps me know I'm here. But Trupp puts on clothes so that he will disappear.
Trupp sighed. I'm glad you saw me, but I'm getting tired of wearing all these clothes. I want to go home.
I know what you mean, Bernice said.
Early the next morning, Bernice showed Trupp and Croc to the edge of town. Thank you for not being afraid of me, said Trupp. Thank you for everything. Croc clucked in agreement. Bernice smiled as she pinned the big yellow button from her hat on Trupp's shirt.
Ha, but I should thank you. It's not every day I get the chance to help someone.
Look, they returned the clothes to the scarecrow. The end. I hope that you enjoyed today's story. I hope that you have a comfortable bed to sleep in and yummy food to put in your tummies, and that if someone needs help, you help them. And I can't wait to see you another day for another story. Goodbye, friends.